as we go into this discussion on an architectural thinking around the latest GA version of .NET, I want to just level set around the type of structure that you need to have for your team to build any kind of software. And without getting into the buzzwords of DevOps, we need a environment for building and testing and releasing and operating software. And so if you don't already have a copy of the architectural poster for a standard .NET DevOps environment, then go ahead and request that in the chat, or Johnny will put some links. This is the top third of that poster that lays out the structure and sequence of the pipeline and all of the must-have steps that you need in that pipeline. I really don't care about the tooling. This kind of shows as an example Azure pipelines and Octopus Deploy and Redgate for some database stuff. But GitHub Actions is kind of growing there, and they're going to continue working on that. And TeamCity, there's plenty of great products out there. It doesn't matter what products you're using. What matters is the architecture of this development environment. And of course, this next screen is the entire poster. Regardless of the products that you choose, what's important is that you put the appropriate capabilities into your DevOps environment, which is your development environment and your environment for deploying release candidates across your environments to production, and for operating and getting intelligence about how the software is working in production. All right. So if you have not seen any of the recordings or were not aware, when .NET 6 was released last November, you can look at all of the recordings on YouTube.com/c/.net, and you can see all the recordings from the sessions going deep into the feature set. Also, Microsoft had its Ignite conference last week, and the recordings are up. But the first link, the directory.libsyn, that's a direct link to the episode of Programming with Palermo that just went out yesterday, where I highlight the 12 sessions that I recommend any software developer watch, because there's tons of information at Microsoft Ignite, but a ton of it is IT focused. And so I highlight the 12 sessions that I recommend that you give a listen. Also, dates, important dates, the 8th of November through the 10th of November is the next .NET Conf. It's virtual. It's all over there through the web. And .NET 7 is going to be released. Right now, the release candidate number 2 of .NET 7 is out. And if you're one who likes to poke around with that, and you can install the preview edition of Visual Studio 2022, the latest preview edition has support for the ability to install the .NET 7 SDK. And so that's a little bit of news. But also stay tuned to our ClearMeasure emails, because after the release of .NET 7, we are going to have a .NET 7 webinar diving deep into that as well. You can be sure. Okay. But along the way, I am going to throw in a few .NET 7 tidbits just so that you kind of know some of the exciting things to watch out for while we kind of go through this webinar.